What a year, right?
Yeah.
Our guest here today weighed 135 pounds, and he said, all you other 135s, come at me. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
My name is Justin Davis out of Eastern High School.
And you're a two-time state champion, 2008 and 2009. This is your 2008 DDO review. So the standard question that we like to ask everybody is, how do you find wrestling? What gets you into the sport?
It's kind of a funny story. So, how I found wrestling was I was actually a young troublemaker. Honestly, I thought wrestling was like WWE, jumping off the ropes, you
Yeah.
know. So freshman year, I end up getting kicked off the JV football team. So I'm just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna do whatever. End up getting in trouble into a fight, and then Mr. Coombs, Hall of Fame wrestling coach, man, love that guy. But he was one of my assistant principals, and he ended up breaking up the fight, and he dragged me to the office and was like, he was like, man, it took like five of them to take you down, man. You might want to do some wrestling. Come wrestle for me. And I was like, wrestling, like, and then like the leotards, like Shawn Michaels, like,
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? I was like, will you keep me out of trouble? Because he's assistant principal. And he's like, yeah, he'll keep you out of trouble, like vaguely. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna do it just to stay out of trouble. I gotta get out of jail free card. So went in there, uh, did a couple bouts, called out this really good cat named Blake Craft. And just because I'm a young kid, and then he just whooped me up and down the mat. So with the beginners class, took that a little bit more seriously. Mr. Coons was like, "Hey man, you don't have to come back to this beginners class again." It's like me and the teacher on that. He's like, "You don't need to come back to this beginners class," and I just fell in love with it. Taught me self discipline, at a way to get out my frustrations I had in my life. So I fell in love with it just right after that. Yeah,
And that's a story that we've heard is kind of both sides of the coin. There is it. People have like the misperception of what it is. They think they see wrestling, they think ropes and chairs and the theatrics, and to a certain degree, I mean, it's one's entertainment, one's a legitimate sport. But I guess if you're a fan of both, you can make the parallels. And then the other, I guess, the main aspect is being able to help youngsters out.
Yeah.
A lot, when you're 14 to 18-year-old male, I mean, your hormones are you're raging. You don't know what's going on in life, whatever. And a lot of people just can't handle it. And whatever, if it's a sport, whether it's an activity, it gives people that ability to harness what they're feeling and just turn it into something positive instead of, ended up, doing time at Eddyville or in LaGrange or something like that. You can stand on top of a podium and be like, this is what I could have been, but this is what I am.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So,
I always see it that way. And I tell the young kids I see who are wrestling or who are interested in it, I was like, I would definitely put my kids in it, if anything else, just not for the glory or the self-discipline. Both of those things improve a person, their perspective.
Oh, yeah. And you mentioned earlier that you started I guess, as a freshman. That would have been the 2006 season, correct?
I actually started as in my sophomore year.
Okay.
So I started because I didn't get into it that freshman year. I think my sophomore year is when I decided not to do football after I get kicked out my JV year freshman year. And I just picked up wrestling. So I started sophomore year, 2007.
So actually, then that would have been the 2007 season, and we got the bracket here. Looks like you come in fourth place at 135 pounds as a sophomore. So your first year into the sport, you're on the podium.
Yeah.
That's saying a whole lot. I mean, it really is. That's saying natural, just athletic ability coupled with some good coaching, some technique, man, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
So that's
for sure.
That I don't know for certain. I'm sure there's somebody that we've met with, I just can't recall, that was a first-year wrestler with no elementary, no youth, no middle school, just coming straight in and placing in high school. If you're not the first, you've got to be the top, 5 or less that we've met with that's been able to do that. So that's kind of cool. But this is your 2008 year. And as always, we're going to go over your bracket here. The first round, you're wrestling Kevin. It's either Igo or Ego. IGO. Do you remember how it was pronounced?
I think you're close to it. I'm not gonna pronounce it any better
Okay,
than you,
well,
so I'm not
Kevin,
gonna say
I'm going to say Ego from
Yeah.
Dixie Heights. You win that by a fall, 3 minutes, 53 seconds. Second round, you're wrestling Steven Rivera from Central Hardin. You win that by a tech fall, 17-2. The quarters, you're wrestling Aaron Cosgrove out of Doss, out of Louisville. You win that by a 20-4 decision. In case Doss is a Louisville area school as well. I've never been to Doss. I'm not exactly sure where it's at.
Yeah, I mean it's in Louisville. I think it might be on the outskirts because I mean Louisville's so big.
Yeah,
You got
Louisville.
like different cities within the city,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Then in the semis, you're wrestling Dusty Brown from Campbell County. You win that by an 11-5 decision. And Dusty goes on in 09 and wins state championship in his weight class there. So, and I believe Dusty come in third this year, if I'm not mistaken. You get to the finals, you're wrestling Matt Miller from LaRue County, and we're not going to tell you the score. We have the video. Actually, I pulled this video off of your YouTube channel. I think it was posted, years ago. So as we say that, we have your 08 video. You're also the 09 state champion.
At the 140-pound weight class from Union County, a junior with a record of 50-8, ranked number 9 in the state, Isaac Thomas. From Eastern, a senior with a record of 20-1, ranked number 1 in the state, Justin Davis. At the 145-pound weight class from
And let's kind of go over your bracket on that, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you guys why just in a second. In 2008, you're 140 pounds. First round, you pin Stephen Cole from Doss, 1 minute 26 seconds. Second round, you're wrestling Cody Gillier from Henry Clay. You win that by a fall, 4 minutes 49 seconds. The quarters, you're wrestling Corey Shotwell from Campbell County. You win that by a 5-2 decision. The semis, you're wrestling Andy Copper from Ohio County. You win that by a fall, 3 minutes, 54 seconds. And then in the championship, you're wrestling Isaac Thomas from Union County. You win that by a decision, 11-5. Now, I said that because we have your 08 video. We're still searching for your 09 video. And I think today you said, as of this filming, that you got some people doing some digging, looking in some old storage units and basements and bins and stuff. So hopefully we can come up with that. And I'll make my plea here. You guys are seeing a list of the videos, the state championship videos I do have. So far, we've been able to find 36 of the 60 years. We're always searching for new video. So if you see years that you have, whether they're complete or they're matches from years that I don't have, please contact me. I'm easy to find on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that. Just reach out to me. Be more than happy to take those from you. You can mail them to me. I'll convert them because as it stands now, yours truly has the largest collection of the Kentucky High School Wrestling State Championship Finals in existence, and I'm always wanting to add to it. And it's cool that our channel's been able to do that. It's cool that we're known now as kind of like a de facto historian, and we put out the state wrestling tournament trivia. We doing the review videos, and it's cool that people will now have embraced what we're doing as like I said, the de facto historical side of the state wrestling tournament. And it's guys like, Justin's 08 and 09 videos that we had to dig for that we're still searching for the 09, of course, but he's made a few phone calls, made a few text messages. I'm sure we'll find it eventually. And when we do, we'll come back on, do another video. We'll get it going. But you were the most outstanding wrestler in 09.
Yes, sir. Surprising.
So tell us, because we've met with a lot of most outstanding wrestlers, your Isaac Knables, your Jacob Mertens, Kyle Rochelle's, Bruce Stepp, George King, all these guys, Joe Carr Jr.'s, Ian Horns. this past year, Taylor County, Leland Reeves, Cole Thomas from Ryle. I mean, we've met with a lot of guys that are most outstanding wrestlers. So for somebody that only wrestled for 3 years in high school, you placed all 3 years, your senior, you went most outstanding. What was the like mental switch that went off that was like, I can do this. I can be the most outstanding. Well, talk us through that.
Yeah, so I would say it started out my first year, right? This kid, everybody knows him, man, Ben Warner.
Oh yeah,
he's in. They don't do the tournament anymore, but the used to be the Louisville, Louisville Invitational Tournament, like wrestling. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was everybody within our district. And he was within our district. Every year he would smack me, like because I just could not get out of that. I couldn't get out from off. I get him off top of me. So like I had to work on that, and that was just something that it irked me because I hate not being able to overcome challenges. So it started that first year. I saw him in the finals, and I obviously said I placed for it, but I'm still watching it under the lights. Hands down the best. I need to go back to that. I plead for that. But
oh yeah.
under the lights, yeah. So I'm watching that and I'm watching the glory of it. And I'm like, dude, I should be out there, right? I told my coach, I said, I'm going to be out there next year. He said, you just got to put in that work, right? So I'm just putting in the work over the summer, kind of trying to overcome that challenge. Winning it that next year. And then my senior year is really difficult because if you recall, I hurt my wrist. I fractured my wrist playing football that senior year right before wrestling season in the playoff. And so I wasn't gonna be able to wrestle. Like I had my cast on. I had to actually sign a waiver, like with my mom and the principal, like to come back and wrestle. And just like, hey, look, hands are wiped clean of it. I need to earn a scholarship, right? So I had to fight through it. It took a lot of dedication and a lot of man hours and a lot of just getting through a lot of pain. And then that tournament, I actually thought I had the flu. It was a cold, but I thought I had the flu. So mentally, I just had to. I guess it was something within myself. It's something I wanted. When I set my mind to it, I just had to go get it. I would say like a lot of those, most outstanding wrestlers, behind the scenes, you don't see the work they put in. Everybody thinks, hey, like just God-given talent. Man, we put in work. Like I remember, coming from football practice, going straight to the gym, like wrestling, going from wrestling practice, going straight to the gym, doing something else, trying to lose weight, or trying to be comfortable in my transitions. That's one thing I had to work on in my senior year. Just like, hey, you can do the duck. Yeah, you can do a single or double leg. But what if that falters? Like what's your next move? So a lot of mental preparation goes into it, like they always say, or Coach Coombs always said, it was 90% mental. Wrestling is 10%, the rest is 10%. But yeah, that's a great question in a vague way. I know I answered it pretty vaguely, but yeah, it's tough, man. It's a tough switch to once you find it. I will say this: once you find that switch, and once you find that, like you push yourself past that wall, like nothing can stop you. And one more thing I'll say, and I pass off to you. I went to Ohio State Lou Rosselli camp before my senior year, and the national champion that year, I'm trying to remember his name at 140, 141. He gave an inspirational speech. He was like, I put in all this work in over the summer. He said, I know the hours I put in. I know the countless reps I did. He says, no way, no in hell I'm letting some dude from California who's boogie boarding all day beat me on the mat. So he was like, you got to go in that mentality. And I think that stuck with me too. I'm like, if I put in all this work and I'm seeing it as like, hey, I'm getting on the mat. I'm not taking water breaks. I don't take water breaks in practice. You can ask anybody about practice. I was like, nah, because I don't have a chance to take a water break on the mat. I'm just simulating it in like extreme succession. You know what I mean? So once I heard that, that's what think that was one of the things that clicked too. I'm like, dude, this dude's national champion saying this, man. Like putting the work, your mentality should be there's no way you can lose. Like failure's not an option. Yeah.
No, that's a great answer. It really is, because there's really no wrong answer. Only you know the answer. And something too about this series, whether it's people we've met with from the early 80s. We're not saying that's a long time ago, but it's not modern day, or the guys that we've met with as from the previous year is you're not always going to have somebody like Isaac Knable come do a camp for you. Somebody like Chris Dunn come do a camp for you. Somebody like, Bruce Stepp, or somebody like Livingston Merritt, Willie Ennels. And those are some names of wrestling past, or Brock Irvin even.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hear their stories, you hear what they went through, there's something in that story that can speak to somebody that is, whether they're a senior in high school or they're in elementary school just starting wrestling. What they're telling you is stuff they went through. It's not something that is brand new. Everybody's going to struggle. Nobody likes cutting weight. It's not fun. Nobody likes to grind. You know what I mean? It's not like that it's the most enjoyable thing in the world to wake up early, run a mile, maybe have an early practice or stay late or do an off-season workout or whatever. It's not, like I said, not the most enjoyable thing, but sometimes to be the best, you have to do things that aren't the most enjoyable.
Yeah.
And like you said, the 6 minutes of your state championship bouts that you have, and then however long that, you're sitting there in the chairs at the dungeon when they're reading off the medal winners, that's when it's like, this paid off.
Yeah, for sure.
That this paid off. And then forever you can, like, I've never been to Eastern's gym, so I don't know if they have like a photo up of you or a banner or something in a trophy case. But forever you're in the history books as 2008 state champion, 2009 state champion, and you get to do reviews with me on my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That's the big part. And something too about that 09 your 09 match when we get it is Harrison Courtney won his 4 straight state championships. Harrison, friend of the channel, we've got his 07 and 09 video on the channel. So
great dude.
I mean, you were able to knock Harrison out. I mean, everybody thought he was going to be kind of like a shoe-in for most outstanding, win it 4 times in a row. And, you come in and I guess you just put on a show, man. I've never seen the video. I can't wait till you get it, but because we got to have to do a review as soon as we do. But, that was kind of there's still some grumblings of like, what happened there? What was going on, man? But,
man.
hey, man.
I think it's the I mean, when you hear somebody that came back from a wrist injury halfway through the season, you're like, hold on. Like I stopped going on what was it, KentuckyWrestling.com. Because I just going through the forums sometimes because I was missing it that senior year, and it was like, yeah, well, since JD's out or Justin's out, this person's up next. Yep. And I'm like, God dang it, man. All right, cool. I mean, that's just give me some rumblings. Like, all right, I gotta do something. So like when I came back halfway through the season, kind of conditioned, and then took it into the state champions or the state championship, wrestling tournament. Like, I think that's what gave me the edge because I thought Harrison Courtney was gonna win it. My coach was telling me the whole time, he's like, man, I was in the stands. He was like, man, you gonna win it, bro. You gonna win it. I was like, all right, whatever. What I mean? Harrison Courtney just got 4. This dude's a beast, man. Like, let's go ahead and go home. He was like, nah, man, you gonna stick around. And I ended up winning. I was surprised myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. So like, the rumblings was in my corner too. So.
Hey, that's the way it goes sometimes, man. That's the way it goes. All right, I think we've covered enough ground here. So what we're going to do is pull up your video, and there it is. It sounds like some of your teammates are filming this. You can tell by the cheering section. So like if you never were at the dungeon, the seats literally came right down to the mat area. There was one mat, the big spotlight on or multiple spotlights, I guess, but just one. They were all focused on the center mat, and then when it was time for the medal presentations, they would turn those lights over to the medal podium. So I'm excited to get this one on here, man. You put on a show, so I'm ready to do this, man. 2008, here we come. There you are, man, walking around.
Throwbacks, man. I used to find those out in the bins in the back. Those aren't even standard issue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The coach is like, "Where are you getting these?" I'm like, "Man, I just find them, man. I'm just digging. Like, I'm tired of
around, man." So you can tell crowd's into it. It's loud. Right out of the gate, man, you shoot in, get a single.
Had to.
Quick as lightning, man. Quick as lightning.
And he was Matt Miller was a tactician when he got you in his grasp. So
Yep.
I had to just attack off the bat.
And there it is. You brute your way through to a takedown, and then you just let him go.
Let him up. Yeah. I couldn't. I knew my limitations. I couldn't get him on the ground.
He shoots in on you. You're defending pretty good. Nothing yet. I believe the referee gave 2 right there, which that's a good call. So did you feel like you were more of like a better neutral wrestler than like up and down, or?
Especially this year, for sure. I worked on it in the gym or in the practice room for sure. Like I can hold my own on the ground, but when you get to that high level, like that championship, that finals match, like I'm not going to risk it against Matt Miller, who's a give wrong movement.
Right there, you got a reversal, and then you just let him go again. So I've got it at 4-4, tied up, I believe. Takedown, 2 escapes, takedown, and then reversal.
Oh, I should hit that duck right there. Reverse side. I mean,
2008 had some good wrestlers as well. You had Jarvis at 103.
Oh man.
You had Matt Zarth, I believe, at 119. You had let's see, I've got the list pulled up here because I want to go over that because there was some good dudes in that year.
Oh yeah.
Corey Spencer beat Travis Sullivan at 112. You had my man Anthony Bailey from Fort Knox. We're trying to find his video. He was a monster.
The beast.
You remember him?
Yeah, he's built different.
Oh man, he's monster.
Yeah.
You can hear the Louisville Eastern crowd cheering for you.
Still thought I got that to this day. I thought
yeah, it was close.
Enough time. Yeah.
So you take down here to start the second period.
So what I had to do is I had to tire him out. I had to make him work. He's strong as an ox, but if I just tire him out, make him do physical work, I knew I can get him in the second and third.
Yeah, that's and that a lot of teams really pride themselves on their conditioning. They're like, if we can get somebody to the third period, we know that we can break them.
Yeah. I think I noticed that when I faced him at the Woodford County Invitational.
Okay.
He just wiped the floor at me on the mat. So I was just like, but on my feet, I could tire him out. So I was like, all right, I just have to get up. I had to endure that. And then if I could get past that, I'm good.
I think he got called for locking hands right there, too.
Yeah.
So that was a free penalty point. And I mean, you have come forward the entire match. You've not stalled. You have went straight at him the entire time.
Yeah, that's the strategy. You just got to keep attacking. The best defense is good offense, as Coach Jackson says.
Yep.
So
now that's Vernon Jackson, correct?
Correct. Yeah, he's that guy.
We're trying to find his 1993 state championship video and get up with him. So
I'll make conversations with him. So I'll ask him.
Yeah, holler at him and see what's up with him.
And that dude, he humbled me the first day he came into that wrestling room. Hand control right there.
Pulling the head down. Ooh.
Looking for it. You saw it. Looking for it.
Yeah. So we're back neutral.
The whole time he's telling me to keep going forward, but I think he's talking to me. He's like, keep fighting. He was talking to Matt. Yeah, I was just like, I was like, my bad. Like, I thought I was.
Riff, I can't go any more forward, buddy.
Yeah, I was like,
if I go any more forward, I'll be speeding up time.
Right.
Right there it is. You get another takedown.
Nice.
And I don't know Matt Miller, but it looks like he's just about wore out right here.
Yeah. I mean, he's fighting. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like these are easy
Mhm.
takedowns. This dude is he's built like an ox, man.
And yeah, he looks like a monster himself. So you show the ref the optional start.
Yeah.
You go up, place it. Was that something that you guys had discussed beforehand? Like, hey, let's just go all neutral here.
Just give him the points because we tried it at at Woodford County Invitational, just going down, just holding him down, and I think he reversed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just like any chance to get him off the ground is what we want to do.
And he looks to be on video a little bit taller than you. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, got
Okay.
it 3-4 inches on me for sure.
Okay, it's because like I don't think I've ever met you in person, and I don't think I've ever met Matt Miller in person. So just looking at the video, you can tell he's maybe a little bit taller than you.
Oh yeah. I think it's a
And
transition.
right out of bounds, you tried to drag your toes right there. That was a smart move, but
Yeah.
just couldn't get anything, too far out of bounds there. Now,
Cover.
college, we may have let that one go a little bit, but
Yeah.
as the kids would say, this ain't college.
This ain't it.
Your team and your fan section, man, they've kept up the intensity the entire time.
The whole time, man. I know got some sore throats, some hoarse voices, after that.
Yeah. You go. He's trying. There it is. Get two. Cutting. And I want to make sure that I'm telling the score correctly.
He's going to the end. Like he's looking for that
Yep.
trip. Golly. Debating if I should go for another shot. Just like, whatever.
And there it is, man. You win by a final score of 12-7. First of two state championships. And that's where you come over and you give the other coach a congratulatory fist bump there. I'm sure you probably watched it, several times throughout the years, but when you watch it, does it play out the way like your memory has it?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you start as the years go by, you start to critique it, break it down. It's like, man, I should have hit that. Like I was saying throughout it. But yeah, at the end of the day, you just see like, man, like I think about the years hard work I put in for that. Especially that year, running hills with weight vests on, which I wouldn't recommend to everybody. But yeah, it was just like I had to do something, and then it's like it culminated into that. It's very I love it, man. I love it. I put it on YouTube just to have it because I didn't know how to store. This is early YouTube days. I didn't know how to store files, so I just upload YouTube. But yes, every once in a while I'll go back and I was like, oh yeah, this popped in my feed. Let me watch this. Give it a couple minutes of watch. Yeah, it definitely gives you chills for sure. Yeah.
I know I get it. And like I said, when we find your 09, whoever finds it first, we're definitely going to do the review video for it. And you're our second Louisville Eastern wrestler. Our first state champion on the channel is Jerry Whalen, two-time 1980 and 1981. His 1981 review is on the channel. So if you haven't watched Jerry's, if you're affiliated with the Louisville Eastern program, go back and check Jerry's out. Jerry's just a wealth of knowledge for Kentucky wrestling in general. But before we wrap this one up, man, do you have anything you'd like to add or say or whatever before we put a bow on it?
Yeah. I mean, I just want to thank me for the review's sake. My coaches, Coach Vernon Jackson, Coach Davis, obviously Coach Bill Coons, Hall of Famer. Shout out. Coach Brooks, who helped me more when we get that 09 video. He helped me in the 09 season with my stand-up game. just a house of a cat. All my teammates at the time who encouraged me, family, obviously, friends, my mom who supported me, even if she couldn't make it, she still was there in spirit, telling me that every Saturday, hey, bring something home, that's it. Yeah, man. The people who helped me make it to where I am now, where I was then. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for that. Yes.
No, I get it, man. I totally understand, man. And it's just having this, starting the channel and meeting with guys, whether in person or on Zoom, is everybody has their own story. Nobody's story is the same. Everybody, I say I've made this joke in a few videos, but nobody starts off the season breaking down their team huddle or puts up a poster in their bedroom. I'm going to be state third place. I'm going to be state runner up. No, it's 1, 2, 3 state champs. Or photo. Now you can Photoshop yourself like standing on the podium or holding the sign. State champion. You can look at it, have that vision board. But with this series, man, we've been able to meet with so many guys, hear so many stories that everybody's story is different, but everybody has the same goal in mind. Everybody, wants that state championship. They want to win. It's just how do they get there? How do we get from where we are to where we want to be? And that's what I love about this series. But 2009, if you have the video of the entire state finals or particular matches, send it to us. Can't wait to get our hands on it. And we'll go back and redo that video as well. Hopefully some people on your end come through for us, man. I got faith in them. Fingers crossed.
We'll get that part 2 win.
Yeah, exactly. We have to make it a presentation or something. But guys, that's all that I have. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the mats.